Here's your WNEM TV5 news update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm David Custer. Here's a look at the stories we are following tonight. Following 5 hours and counting of public commentary, the Board of State Canvassers certified the Michigan election results for Democrat Joe Biden. The results of the election were the target of intense scrutiny as claims of voter fraud were asserted largely by members of the GOP. In response to the certification, Secretary of State Benson took to Twitter, tweeting, "Our democracy, like those who administer it, is resilient. Today, it survived an unprecedented attack on its integrity." A Genesee County mother is now in police custody, accused of murdering her infant son. 23-year-old Keisha Pearson is now charged with murder, torture, and first-degree child abuse in the death of her 2-month-old baby. The child was found unresponsive by Flint police when they were called to a home in Devon Lane back on November 12th. Police say Pearson stopped for food before getting help for her child. If you have any information about the case, call police or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-JAIL. The state of Michigan is reporting more than 11,500 new cases of COVID-19 since Saturday, an average of more than 5,700 each day. 65 additional deaths were also recorded. That brings the state's overall totals to more than 314,000 cases and more than 8,500 deaths. The state is also reporting 53 new school-related outbreaks of COVID-19. That includes 16 outbreaks here in mid-Michigan. 5 high schools, 2 middle schools, 8 elementary schools, and 1 administrative building. And now here's Brian with a look at your forecast.
All right, thanks very much, David. After a quiet start to our Thanksgiving week on Monday, even with a little bit of sun managing to poke through late in the day, well, now we're bracing for our first more widespread snow of the season here, with a new disturbance that's going to come in for Tuesday. Setting the stage for that tonight is this cold front that we see here on the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker. That is going to continue south of the state as we move into tonight, allowing some cold air to kind of reinforce itself and dig in briefly here over the Great Lakes. So then by the time this area of low pressure that we see over the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle gets a little bit more organized tomorrow and it begins to rapidly accelerate off of the Rocky Mountains, the initial wave of precipitation that comes with it, encountering the cold air, is going to be snow. But unlike a lot of these systems where we tend to get colder on the backside, we're actually going to warm up. So this is going to be an event that goes from snow and then transitions over to rain. But still, before that change, we do expect some accumulation. So let's time it out. Hour by hour forecast for the overnight period tonight. Looking to be in good shape. Many of us actually seeing the skies clear nicely for most of the night. It won't be till closer to daybreak tomorrow, and certainly by the time we hit about 8 o'clock, that we see some of the leading high clouds of this disturbance begin to stream in from the southwest, but they're quickly going to overtake our skies, and by lunchtime, you can see just about everybody is over to overcast conditions, and on top of that, we have the first wave of snow shower activity already kind of knocking on the door in places like Mount Pleasant and Alma. That activity will continue to build east-northeast over the course of the afternoon. By 3 o'clock, most of us dealing with some scattered light to moderate snow, overspreading more or less the entire region, outside of it being a little more scattered in parts of the thumb by 6 p.m. 9 o'clock tomorrow night, just about everybody seeing light to moderate snow, maybe closer to I-69 with some warming temps already working in toward that area. We'll start to see a blend of rain and snow. The wintry precipitation from there will then tend to focus closer to M55 and the northern thumb by about midnight, with just about everybody south of there either seeing rain or at least a break in the action. Then as we move into the balance of our Tuesday night and on into Wednesday, we'll continue to see periodic rain, but it's going to be warm enough to keep everything completely liquid, thus meaning the, again, backside of this system is pretty much all going to be rain. Before that changeover happens, however, we do expect many of us to pick up at least a slim accumulation of snow. For folks around the Tri-Cities, Alma, I-69, including the Flint metro area and across the thumb, generally looking at an inch or less, maybe a brief slushy coating on grassy elevated surface, maybe even on some side roads. But folks to the north, where we see the temperatures stay colder longer, Mount Pleasant, Clare, everybody along M55, you stand to pick up by tomorrow night anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of overall accumulation. But then the catch here is, with the temperatures warming and rain continuing into Wednesday, whatever we do pick up on the front end of this is going to melt quickly. So be prepared, bottom line, for some messy travel late Tuesday and even at times into Wednesday, since we could see some of that snow melt so quickly that it kind of leads to some localized flooding. As for tonight, it's 24 for an overnight low temp, brief clearing, then increasing clouds late, heading into afternoon snow, then changing to rain late tomorrow evening. High temp 38 for tomorrow, so staying very much on the cold side. And then we rebound to 45 with periods of rain continuing on Wednesday. But then here's the good news about all of this. By the time we hit Thanksgiving and the balance of the holiday weekend, all this is over. Mostly cloudy, dry, and actually mild for Thanksgiving with a high near 50. Partly to mostly cloudy Friday, 48. Then mostly sunny over the weekend, but highs staying in the middle to upper 40s.
Remember to tune into WNEM TV5 on air and online 24/7 for the latest news, weather, and information.